How much did my husband love me? To marry me, Ethan proposed 99 times. It wasn't until the 100th proposal that I finally said yes.
Olivia Quinn, you're the only woman I'll ever love. If you say no today, I'll come back tomorrow. And if tomorrow doesn't work, I'll come back the day after that. I'll keep asking until you finally believe me.
That day, in front of our families and closest friends, I finally gave in. On our wedding night, I gave him a crystal box. Inside were 99 second chance cards. Each card represented one mistake I was willing to forgive. As long as there were cards left, I promised I would stay. 5 years later, every time he broke a promise because of his young assistant, Chloe Hart, he used one up. Then, one day, he realized something had changed. I no longer cried and begged him to stay. The only thing I asked was, if you leave with Chloe tonight, can I use another second chance card?
Of course, it's not like I've used that many. Use one if you want.
I nodded and watched him walk away. What he didn't know was that tonight was his 97th card, and there were only 2 left. Tonight was Blackwell Group's celebration gala. It was also my 3rd day out of the hospital after liver surgery. The doctors had specifically told me to rest, but I still came to support Ethan. Then Chloe Hart knocked over the champagne tower. Glass shattered across the ballroom floor. Champagne splashed all over one of our key business partners, Mr. Harrison. Ethan's first instinct wasn't to ask Chloe to apologize. Instead, he immediately stepped in front of her, protecting her.
Olivia, apologize to Mr. Harrison for her.
I froze. For a moment, I thought I had misheard him.
Mr. Blackwell, your assistant is the one who made the mistake. She's the person who owes me an apology.
Chloe's eyes instantly turned red. She tugged lightly on Ethan's sleeve.
I'm sorry. I really didn't mean to.
Ethan gently patted her hand, then leaned slightly closer to me, lowering his voice so only I could hear.
Go make it right with Mr. Harrison. If it takes a few drinks, just stay with him. Keep him calm.
He had forgotten that I was only 3 days out of surgery. The doctors had made it clear that alcohol was off limits, or maybe he simply didn't care. Whispers spread through the ballroom. Everyone knew it wasn't my fault. Everyone could see Ethan was determined to protect Chloe. I wanted to refuse, but Ethan seemed to anticipate that. Silently, he mouthed 2 familiar words, second chance card. 5 years ago, Ethan Blackwell had proposed to me 99 times. To honor that love, I created 99 second chance cards on our wedding day. As long as there were cards left, our marriage would survive. For the first 3 years, Ethan never used a single one. Then Chloe entered our lives. In just 2 years, he burned through 96 cards. And tonight, he used the 97th. The gala had just ended. Without thinking, I walked toward the front passenger seat and reached for the door handle. A sharp click, the doors were locked. Through the tinted window, I saw Ethan slowly roll his window down. His expression was calm.
Take a cab, I just had the interior detailed. You smell like alcohol, it's unpleasant.
If this had been before, I would have immediately tried to explain myself, tearfully insisting it was just a little alcohol, nothing serious.
But this time, I just nodded. All right, drive safe. For a brief moment, his grip on the steering wheel loosened. He looked at me like he wanted to say something. Before he could say another word, Chloe had already walked over. Ethan, I'm ready. We can go. She was wearing the formal jacket I had picked out for him that morning. The dress underneath still carried faint stains from the Champagne Tower incident earlier, but Ethan showed no sign of discomfort. In fact, he adjusted the collar of her jacket with careful hands.
It's cold outside. Don't get sick.
That soft and controlled tone was a different world from how he had spoken to me moments ago. Only after that did he turn back to me. A brief flicker of hesitation crossed his eyes.
Don't misunderstand. Chloe just graduated. She's not used to these kinds of events yet. I'm just looking out for her.
I understand. You've already used the second chance cards anyway. I won't be upset. He froze. He mouth opened slightly as if he wanted to respond, but before he could, Chloe sneezed. His attention snapped back to her instantly.
Go home early.
The door closed. The car pulled away into the Manhattan night, disappearing down the street. I stood there for a long time until the cold finally settled into my bones. At home, I pulled out the box where I kept the second chance cards. It used to be full. Now there were only 3 left. Without hesitation, I took out card 97, tore it in half, and dropped it into the trash. Then I opened my laptop and started drafting the divorce agreement with Ethan Blackwell. For fairness, I called a professor from my law school days. She had supervised my thesis and had been one of the most trusted academic mentors in my career. Professor, if I were to divorce Ethan, how should the assets be divided?
A divorce? Everyone at the university still remembers how he proposed to you 99 times. How did it come to this?
How did it come to this? I repeated it to myself. Maybe it started with the increasingly familiar scent of women's perfume on him. Maybe when he started coming home later and later. Or maybe when those second chance cards began disappearing one by one because of Chloe Hart. I looked at the box. My voice was steady. When he uses the last 2 chances. At that moment, the door opened.
What chances?
Ethan stood in the doorway, a paper bag in his hand, tone casual, but his eyes had already changed. I hung up the phone and calmly closed my laptop. Nothing. I was just talking to my law professor about some divorce-related matters. Ethan's expression changed. He crossed the room almost immediately.
Divorce? You want a divorce?
No. It's a case she's working on. She wanted some opinion. He studied me for a few seconds before the tension in his face eased slightly.
This is for you.
The logo on the bag belonged to a dessert shop I had always loved. Before we got married, whenever we argued, Ethan would buy me a cake from that store to make up with me. The place was incredibly popular. The line was usually at least 2 hours long. He never asked anyone else to go for him. No matter how bad the weather was, he always waited in line himself. Once, I felt bad and told him to send an assistant instead. You should have sent an assistant.
Olivia, it's okay. For you, I'd do it in a heartbeat.
The memory softened something in my chest. I can't believe you still remember. Inside wasn't a cake. It was clothing. 2 pieces of clothing. A faint smell of alcohol still lingered on both. What is this?
Chloe's dress got stained. Since you've always been good at handling things like this, I figured I'd bring it home with mine. You can just take care of it when you have time. And if it bothers you, I can use a second chance card. You still have plenty left, don't you?
Every word I wanted to say died in my throat. I wanted to tell him there weren't plenty left, including the one he had just used. There was only 1 second chance card left. But in the end, I only looked at him for a long moment before taking the clothes to the laundry room. Over the years, I had managed every detail of his life. The suits that needed pressing before board meetings, the ties that matched each gala, fundraiser, and investor dinner. I handled all of it. Looking back now, it felt almost ridiculous. I had called it love. To Ethan, it had simply become a service he expected to exist. Nothing more.
Good evening, Ms. Blackwell. This is a gift purchased by Mr. Ethan Blackwell. Please sign here.
At the same moment, a text from Ethan appeared on my screen.
Sorry, I'm staying at the office tonight. Use a second chance card if you want. I'll bring you your favorite cake when you get home.
I was about to reply when I accidentally knocked into the bookshelf. The framed wedding photo that had sat there for 5 years crashed to the floor. Glass shattered everywhere.
Ma'am, do you need help cleaning that up?
I shook my head, then lowered my eyes to my phone and typed, "Don't bring the cake, Ethan Blackwell. You've run out of second chance cards." After a brief pause, I sent another message. "Let's get divorced." The next second, countless notifications flooded my phone. I ignored the constant buzzing of my phone and turned it off. From that moment on, my 5-year marriage to Ethan had truly come to an end. In the hotel suite, after seeing my message, Ethan left me countless voice messages.
Divorce? Stop kidding. How could all those second chance cards possibly be gone already? Olivia, answer the phone. Let's talk.
He refused to believe I would actually ignore him. Again and again, he called my number. After hearing the automated voicemail for the 39th time, Ethan finally started to panic.
No, that's impossible. It can't be. She was fine before I left.
The image of me mentioning the second chance cards flashed through his mind. I had been so calm that it looked like I had already given up. At that thought, Ethan grabbed his jacket and hurriedly put it on. Chloe wrapped her arms around his neck and snuggled against him. "Ethan, you promised you'd stay with me all night?" Distracted and anxious, Ethan pushed her away. Without offering any explanation, he rushed out of the hotel. The entire drive home, he kept calling me, over and over again. I never answered once. The moment he stepped through the front door, he was moving so fast that he accidentally stepped on something. Ethan looked down. His body froze. It was our wedding portrait. The shattered glass split our wedding photo in two, just like our broken marriage. Slowly, he crouched down and lifted the frame from the floor, then carefully brushed away the shards of glass. Looking at the two young people in the photo smiling so happily, Ethan felt his eyes began to sting. After placing the portrait back where it belonged, he started searching the house for me. When he finally opened the walk-in closet and saw that my side was completely empty, he was forced to accept the truth. I was really gone. He collapsed onto the couch in the living room and stared at the television screen in silence. The proposal video playing on repeat was the last trace of me left in the house. His fingers buried deep in his hair, Ethan tried to think of where I might have gone. As his gaze swept across the room, it suddenly landed on the trash can nearby. The pile of pink scraps inside looked painfully familiar. So familiar that the sight of them nearly took his breath away. Slowly, he crouched down and picked them up one by one. Then, with extraordinary care, he pieced them back together. No more, no less. Exactly 99 second chance cards. He remembered 5 years ago when I placed those cards into the box.
Olivia, trust me. You'll never have to use them all.
Then he remembered all the times he had casually asked to use a second chance card. The love he had spent years building between us had been recklessly squandered during the 2 years since Chloe appeared, until there was nothing left. Every time he broke a promise, he bought me a gift. What reason could I possibly have to be unhappy? At that thought, Ethan's eyes drifted toward the display cabinet in the living room. Then he froze once more. The entire cabinet was filled with gifts he had given me over the years. But upon closer inspection, 3 identical watches sat prominently in the center. One of them had been purchased just 2 hours ago. Suddenly, Ethan remembered the limited edition necklace he had given Chloe yesterday. The moment she said she liked it, he had it flown in from France overnight. Whether in value or thoughtliness, it far surpassed everything in front of him. For the first time, Ethan fell into deep contemplation. When had it happened? When had his once unique love for Olivia become careless and cheap? That night, he sat alone in the living room. He drank an entire bottle of whiskey and still couldn't find the answer he was looking for. The moment Ethan arrived at the office, Chloe followed him inside. "Ethan, here's the contract from yesterday." She placed the file on his desk and walked over to his side, resting a hand on his shoulder. That kind of intimacy used to feel normal. Now, it suddenly made Ethan uncomfortable. Ethan opened the contract. His expression darkened after the first page. The contract was a total mess. In the past, before a single contract reached Ethan's desk, I would review it no fewer than 3 times. I made sure every potential risk to the company was identified. But this one?
Who drafted this contract? Does no one in this company have basic professional competency anymore? Get Olivia in here. I'd like to ask whether our general counsel still wants her job.
The color drained from Chloe's face. "Ethan, I drafted it. All his anger died instantly. Looking at Chloe's reddened eyes and wounded expression, Ethan felt an unfamiliar sense of exhaustion for the first time.
I'm sorry, Ethan. Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm not qualified for this job at all. All I ever do is cause trouble for you.
With that, she turned to leave. Instinctively, Ethan reached out and grabbed her arm. But when he met Chloe's tearful eyes, he suddenly froze. I had never looked at Ethan that way before. No matter what happened, I always found a way to solve the problem. I was nothing like Chloe. Every time Chloe made a mistake, I was the one who cleaned up the mess. Eventually, whenever Chloe screwed something up, Ethan would instinctively push it onto me to fix, as if it had always been my responsibility. Slowly, he released Chloe's arm.
You should go.
Chloe's face alternated between red and pale. Without the reassurance she had expected, tears nearly spilled from her eyes. Seeing that, Ethan rubbed his temples impatiently.
Redo the contract. Bring it back when you're certain there are no problems.
Biting her lip, Chloe finally left the office unwillingly. A coworker who had always been close to me secretly snapped a photo of the scene and sent it to me. Olivia, that little assistant who keeps stealing everyone else's credit, got kicked out of Ethan's office today. Serves her right. Inside the office, Ethan kept dialing my number, again and again. The calls never connected. He kept telling himself that I was just angry. Yet every time his eyes landed on my empty office, the irritation inside him grew stronger. He couldn't even focus on work anymore.
Mr. Blackwell, is there something you need? Did Olivia take the day off?
The HR director froze for a moment, then looked at him in confusion.
Ms. Blackwell resigned.
What? When did that happen? Who approved it? Why wasn't I informed?
The HR director looked completely bewildered.
She submitted the resignation last night. You personally approved it this morning.
The words struck Ethan like a bolt of lightning. He froze in place. Then he abruptly opened his computer and clicked open the resignation letter. His gaze fell to the bottom of the page. Approved by Ethan Blackwell. His own signature. A crushing sense of panic swept through him.
Withdraw it! Right now!
The process has already been completed.
Just then, Chloe walked into the office carrying a document with no return address. Gone was the pitiful expression from earlier. There was even a trace of satisfaction in her eyes. Ethan, an overnight delivery arrived for you. Ethan's gaze swept across the first page. The next second, he collapsed back into his chair. It took him a long time to recover. Finally, he picked up his phone and called a friend.
Help me find out where this package was sent from.
After hanging up, Ethan remained in his office, long after everyone else had gone home. Eventually, he unlocked my office and sat down at my desk. His eyes settled on the framed photo of us. One memory after another flashed through his mind. 9 years ago, Ethan met me for the first time at a university debate tournament. Back then, I was confident and unstoppable. Standing behind the podium, I dismantled every argument with sharp logic and unwavering composure. Whenever an opponent challenged me, I always had the perfect response ready. After the competition, most people described me as intimidating, difficult, and impossible to approach. Ethan, however, called me rational, brilliant, and decisive. From that day on, he pursued me relentlessly. It took us 2 years to go from strangers to lovers, and another 2 years to go from lovers to husband and wife. Even now, Ethan still remembered the day he proposed. He remembered the way I blushed and nodded yes. The joy he felt in that moment exceeded even the thrill of closing a multi-billion-dollar acquisition. Then, somewhere along the way, our marriage began to fall apart. But even now, he couldn't pinpoint exactly where things had gone wrong. All he knew was that the distance between us kept growing. Many Lucktime employees had tried to warn him, but by then, Ethan had become too accustomed to having everyone follow his decisions. He never took their advice seriously. Looking back now, he realized that if he had listened to even one of them, perhaps we would never have ended up here. 9 years together, and this was how it ended. Anyone would think it was a tragedy. Just then, his phone rang.
The address has been traced, but are you sure you want to go yourself? You'll have to fly there.
Ethan's parents had both died in a plane crash. Ever since then, airplanes and flying had become his greatest fear. Even when Blackwell Group had overseas business, It was usually me who carried the signed documents and flew out to handle everything in person.
What happened? Why are you suddenly leaving the country? Olivia left. What? Let me ask you something. For the past 3 years, did all of you think I crossed the line with Chloe? Did all of you think I was betraying Olivia? I understand now. I was wrong. Ever since Chloe showed up, I found myself drawn to her without even realizing it. She reminded me of Olivia when we first met. Back then, Olivia wasn't carrying the weight of the world on her shoulders. She was brilliant, confident, and radiant. She always seemed to know exactly what she wanted. But I never should have confused the two of them. For the past 2 years, I've used up all the 99 chances Olivia gave me. I never imagined we'd end up apart. But now, she doesn't want me anymore.
The line fell silent.
Okay, I understand.
The call ended. A moment later, a text message appeared on his screen. The divorce papers were mailed from this address. Go there and ask around. You might be able to find Olivia. After a 7-hour flight, I arrived safely in Paris. The moment I landed, my former professor was already waiting at the airport with several colleagues from the law firm. Everyone welcomed me warmly. This was my 3rd time in Paris. In the past, whenever I came here for work, Ethan would call me back to New York the moment a contract was signed. Now, free from the burden of that life, I felt lighter than I had in years. Because from this day forward, I only had to live for myself. And Ethan would never find me here. My professor looked at me with a sigh. Back in law school, I had been one of her most promising students. The only person who could rival me was my senior, Daniel Brooks. But then I married Ethan. I turned down her offer to join the Paris firm. I also gave up the career path she had carefully planned for me years in advance. Before I left, she had looked at me seriously. There had been both regret and disappointment in her eyes.
Olivia, I'm truly glad you decided to come back. The divorce papers have already been delivered. As for the divorce proceedings, I'll have Daniel handle them. I guarantee complete fairness.
Then I'll have to count on you, Daniel. When I get my settlement, drinks and a vacation in the south of France are on me.
Come on, let's get you familiar with your new work environment.
What I didn't expect was to run into Ethan so soon. On my very first day at the firm, I saw him standing outside the building. At first, I thought I was imagining things. I even rubbed my eyes several times. But no matter how many times I looked, it was still Ethan. In just a few days, he had become noticeably thinner. Dark circles shadowed his eyes. He looked as though he might collapse at any moment. Yet he remained stubbornly planted at the entrance, refusing to leave. The moment he saw me, he hurried towards me. Instinctively, I took a step back, putting distance between us. The hurt in Ethan's eyes was immediate.
Olivia, don't be mad anymore. I was wrong. Over the past 2 years, I paid too much attention to Chloe because she reminded me of the Olivia I met 9 years ago. I mistook that feeling for love. But after you left, I finally realized it was never love. The person I've always loved is you.
I looked at him with thinly veiled mockery, forcing down the wave of nausea rising in my stomach. But his declaration continued.
These years, I've watched everything you've done. Maybe it was because you became so capable, so successful, so strong. You put so much pressure on me that I started feeling like you'd changed. You became rational, powerful, almost like a machine that never made mistakes. So when Chloe appeared, I found myself drawn to her. It felt like I was seeing the Olivia I first fell in love with all over again. Olivia, I don't want a divorce. And I don't want to lose you. I even got on a plane for you. Can't you forgive me just this once?
By the time he finished, tears were streaming down his face. But all I felt was cold. This was the man I had loved for 9 years. He had emotionally cheated on me. Yet he was still desperately searching for excuses. Worse, he was trying to shift part of the blame onto me. Because I became more rational, he said I had changed. Because I became more successful, he said I made him feel pressured. Because I grew, he fell in love with someone else. Everything he once praised about me had somehow become the reason he betrayed our marriage. How ridiculous. I looked at him calmly. Not a ripple stirred in my voice. Wrong is wrong. when you betray someone, you have to accept the consequences. If a simple apology could erase every mistake, we wouldn't need courts or lawyers. Ethan, we're over. Later, I heard from my colleagues that Ethan had remained outside the building for the entire day. He ignored the stares from strangers and the cold wind. But what was the point? Some things, once lost, are lost forever. For 2 years, I gave him 99 chances, and he wasted every single one of them. After leaving the law firm, Ethan didn't return to his hotel right away. Instead, he sat alone by the scene. The autumn wind was cold enough to cut through layers of clothing, yet he seemed completely oblivious to it, staring only at a photo of me on his phone. It had been taken years ago, shortly after we got married. In the picture, I was leaning against his shoulder, smiling brightly and without restraint. Nothing like the woman I was now. Calm, distant, so indifferent that even looking at him felt unnecessary. Just then, his phone vibrated. An unfamiliar email had arrived. The sender was my former professor. The message itself was brief. If you truly want to know what you've lost, look through these. Attached was a single compressed file. After a moment's hesitation, Ethan opened it. The first document was an offer letter. It came from one of Paris's most prestigious international law firms. Annual salary, $500,000. Global partner track program. The date on the email was exactly 1 month before our wedding. Ethan's breathing caught. He had never known about any of this. He continued scrolling. The second document was an email from Daniel Brooks to me. Olivia, I know you're hesitating, but if you accept this position, you'll make partner within 5 years. Don't give up your future for anyone. Ethan's grip on his phone tightened. Suddenly, he remembered that period of time. I had been busy every day. Interviews, applications, endless paperwork. Then, for reasons he never questioned, I suddenly gave it all up. At the time, it had seemed perfectly natural to him. After all, we were about to get married. Wasn't it normal for his wife to stay in New York? The third document was something I had written to my professor. It had been saved during the 2nd year of our marriage. Ethan opened it. The moment he finished reading, he froze. Blackwell Group has been expanding lately. Ethan only sleeps 3 or 4 hours a night. If I stay at the firm, we'll barely have any time together. I want to leave and help him. At least that way, he won't have to carry everything alone. The message ended there. Nothing followed. Yet those few short sentences made it difficult for Ethan to breathe. For the first time, he realized the truth.
Olivia, why did you join Blackwell Group?
I hadn't joined Blackwell Group because I loved the job. I had done it because I was worried about him. Because I didn't want him carrying the burden alone. Because I had willingly given up the career I loved for his sake. The fourth document was from my professor. The email contained only a single sentence. One day, I hope he deserves that sacrifice. It felt as if something exploded inside Ethan's mind. Suddenly, memory after memory came flooding back. The countless nights I stayed awake reviewing contracts. The boardroom conflicts I resolved on his behalf. The negotiations I flew across the world to handle. The legal department I built from the ground up for Blackwell Group. And what had he done? He had taken all of it for granted. He had convinced himself that I was simply supposed to be there. Supposed to stand behind him. Supposed to never leave. Only now did Ethan finally understand. It wasn't that I couldn't live without him. It was that I had given up an entire world that had once been within reach, for him. He sat there beside the Seine, head lowered, silent for a very long time. Tears fell one by one onto the screen of his phone. Unfortunately, the realization had come too late. The Olivia who had once been willing to give up everything for him didn't want him anymore. For 7 straight days, Ethan showed up outside the law firm, rain or shine. Every time he saw me, he wore the same heartbroken expression. He never openly harassed me, yet somehow managed to make it obvious to everyone that there had once been something between us. Naturally, Daniel noticed Ethan as well. Every time he walked past him, he would casually slip a freshly printed divorce settlement agreement into Ethan's hands. The two men seemed to be engaged in a silent competition. My professor didn't want Ethan affecting my work, so she arranged a firm retreat. During the trip, I finally got to experience all the things Ethan and I had talked about doing for years but never found the time for. Skiing, mountain climbing, skydiving, chasing the northern lights. Every experience reminded me how vibrant life could be. Compared to that, marriage suddenly didn't seem all that important. On my first day back at work, Ethan didn't appear. He left behind only one message: I won't give up. Then he returned to New York, back to the mess Chloe had made of Blackwell Group. Every day, former colleagues sent me updates. Chloe got yelled at until she cried 3 times today. Chloe was demoted from executive assistant to administrative assistant. Chloe got transferred to the administrative department. In just a few days, Chloe had been demoted several times. She became the target of all of Ethan's anger. As for me, I simply smiled and continued living my new life. Gradually, everything began falling into place. Within 6 months, I won 15 cases. My name started gaining recognition in legal circles across Europe. In my free time, I rode gondolas through the canals of Venice, or traveled to Sicily to watch the sea. Whenever I felt exhausted, I would disappear into a small fishing village along the Ligonian coast for a week. During that first year apart, Ethan received 99 divorce settlement agreements, yet he refused to sign a single one. It seemed he wanted to summon the same persistence he had once used to pursue me, as if determination alone could make me soften and take him back. At first, I admit, my heart would still waver from time to time. But the updates from New York quickly extinguished that foolish sympathy. At one point, Ethan personally visited my parents. He confessed everything and tearfully expressed his regret. What he forgot was that children often take after their parents. I don't tolerate betrayal, and neither do they. After hearing everything, my mother threw him out of the house. Then she immediately called me and told me she fully supported my decision to divorce him. Any lingering hesitant, I had disappeared completely. After that, Ethan never appeared outside the firm again. 2 years later, I accepted a commercial litigation case from New York. By then, we had been separated for 2 years. The divorce had already become final. For the first time in years, I boarded a flight back to New York. When I arrived, my parents looked a confident, self-assured woman I had become. For the first time, they were truly at ease.
We have Daniel to thank. He sent us photos and videos of you almost every day. Otherwise, we never would have stopped worrying.
I turned toward the man standing behind me and smiled knowingly. Mr. Brooks, what's the legal penalty for invading someone's privacy again? Daniel cleared his throat. The tips of his ears turned bright red.
Well, if there was a legitimate reason, and if the family provided authorization, a court might take that into consideration.
His answer made everyone laugh. The light-hearted moment eased the emotions of our reunion. As we headed home together, my father finally told me why Ethan had disappeared. In an attempt to climb higher, Chloe sold intimate photos of herself and Ethan to the media. Blackwell Group was immediately dragged into a public scandal. The stock price plummeted. Many business partners who had once worked closely with me terminated their contracts on the spot. Several newly signed partners were caught in the fallout as well. The company lost hundreds of millions of dollars. Massive breach of contract claims followed. Ethan completely lost control. He physically assaulted Chloe in his office. Eventually, he was convicted of assault and sentenced to 3 months in jail. Blackwell Group never survived long enough to see his release. Overwhelmed by debt, the company filed for bankruptcy protection. As for Chloe, the scandal destroyed her reputation. She was blacklisted across the industry. No respectable company would hire her. In the end, she found herself working at a small restaurant, enduring contempt from both customers and management every single day. The next time I saw Ethan was at a corporate gala 2 years later. As the lead attorney responsible for taking a company public, I was treated as one of the evening's most honored guests. Meanwhile, in a corner of the ballroom, Ethan stood holding a glass of wine. He was forcing polite conversation with business partners he once looked down upon, one drink after another. The sight reminded me of myself years ago, back when I drank until my stomach bled just to help him build his empire. The moment our eyes met, I saw it all in his gaze: embarrassment, shock, pain, and regret. Across the crowded room, I raised my champagne glass toward him, then slowly took a sip. This toast was for the love we had lost, and for the woman I became after surviving it.